Among every world, among every timeline, among everything you can imagine in different worlds, people are there to guide you. Guide you through stories, guide you through timelines. Welcome to the Blue Mask What If channel. Hello everyone and welcome back. My name is Blue Mask and welcome back to my channel. I said it twice, I'm sorry. So, today we are continuing the story of What If Belle Was Genji remake or remastered or remake. I don't really mind. So where we last left off, I think we left off where Belle met his godly grandmother, Hera. So, Hera meets Belle at the gates of her mansion. They walked in and they talked. I think Belle's aunt, Belle's mother's younger sister, was there as the second vice captain. Or the second captain. Yeah, I think so. I think I'm right about that. The second vice captain, there it is. Second vice captain was Belle's second aunt. So, let's say they talked for a little while. Hera explaining about Belle's families, Belle's father, and Belle's father's family. Belle had found out something about his father's side of his family. That his father was named Elliot Cranell, born from the Cranell family that is coming from the blood of Argonaut. I don't think I mentioned that. I really need to remember everything about my stories. Anyways. So Belle's father's side is from Argonaut. In Belle's father's family, there's always been one son being born over generations. Belle is one of them. But when the black dragon and they went out to kill it, Belle's father didn't survive. Belle's mother, I don't remember her name. I don't think I've ever heard it. I only heard it in fan fictions. So I'm not sure what her true name is. Belle's mother, when she gave birth, she holds a spell, but was still weak after birth. I think I never explained that. But if you have forgotten, so I will. If I had told it, I will tell it here. Belle's mother was weak after attack on the black dragon, like really weak. When she gave birth to Belle, she told Zeus and Hera to take care of Belle. After that, she slipped into a coma for around 14 years Belle was 12 when he arrived. Right, originally in my story. It's been a year. So he's 13 now. In my story. So he's 13 now. So she has been in a coma for 13 years. They have tried everything to heal her, to compress, but everyone says she's fine. She's just not woken up yet. Belle hears that she hasn't woken up. So he asked to see her. Hera asked Belle if he really wanted to see her. Belle agreed to it because he really wanted to meet his mother. Even though she's in a coma, he just wants to meet her, to reassure him that she never left him on purpose. They walked through the corridor into the sleeping area, going to the far end of the corridor where a plaque lays the captain's room. Belle's aunt. Oh god, what the hell did I name her? Let's just. I will watch my old video back to find her name. So, Belle's aunt opened the door for him. Belle walks in to see his mother lying on the bed. Belle's mother has red hair. Yes, red hair. Dark red, not light red. Not, like really dark red hair on her back with long hair. She has some freckles on her cheeks in a diamond shape. A diamond shape on both of her cheeks. She was lying there, just sleeping away. Belle walked forward to walk by her side. He looked down upon her. His mother, what he can admit, was beautiful. He saw her and how she is. Belle went down on his knees and looked at her. Seeing one of her hands out, he grabs it with his mechanical hand, both of them, grabbing it and just holding it, just wishing that he can just talk to her, just get a confirmation that she never left him on purpose. Belle never noticed it, but Hera and Belle's aunt noticed that his mother's eyes, her body was tensing, that she was actually waking up. By the way, I forgot to mention, Belle has his helmet off. And it's by his side. His helmet is by his side on his belt. So, by the way, this is how he actually looks like when his mask is fully off. Belle's mom, let's call her Light. No. Fuck it, generic name I got. Rose. Belle's mother's name is Rose Cronell. It sounds awful, I know, but I just spotted something that makes sense for me. Rose Cronell, leader of the Hera Familia. Her eyes was opening. Rose looked up and sees her bed. The bed was normal, but she knew that she's been out for a long time. But she could feel someone grabbing her hand. The hands had this cold feeling about it, but she felt someone she wanted to meet for a long time. Rose looked to the side and saw him. She knew immediately who he was. Even though she can see metal parts on him, she knew that was her son. Belle heard gasp from his aunt and Hera. Belle looked at them and then at his mother. His mother's eyes was open, looking at him. He saw them, saw how they looked, saw how they was seeing him. You must be Belle. Am I correct? Belle's eyes watered, hearing his mother's words, her actual words to him that he could hear personally. His tears showed it all, and Rose took her hands out of his and took the tears from his eyes. She sat up, looking at him. Belle started to cry even harder, realizing that his mother is awake, that he did that. However he did, he just met his mother and heard the first words she ever will say to him, what he could hear. I'm glad to meet you. I'm happy that you seem alright. I want to talk to you. I want to hear how you have been living. Belle started to cry and said just 2 words. Yes, Mom. After that, Belle explained his life. How he was with his grandfather that he just found out a few days ago was Zeus. He explained how for 12 years he lives on that farm, but his grandfather disappeared, and he had to go to Aurario to live out his life. For a couple of months, he stayed with goddess Hestia, before he was kidnapped and experimented on by this crazy god, where he made some of his body parts metal. He said he joined the Loki Familia, and how they have tried to help him, but he just didn't feel right, so he went out. After a year being there, he just had to leave before he actually broke. He wanted to find out who he was, who he is, and where his parents was. Rose was always smiling at the story, but had a scowl when he heard her son was experimented on. They talked and talked for hours, their favorite thing, their favorite color, what weapons, magic, and everything else was used. After that, Belle fell asleep. Rose was checked out by the doctors when he fell asleep. Well, Rose was happy just to be near her son. Now we go back to the present. We see Belle and the Loki Familia, and of course, Lily walking up to the first floor. Really? You met your mother? Yeah, I met her. She's really kind. Huh. Belle, I didn't expect your family to be Zeus and Hera. Yeah, didn't either. But it's neat. Well, I stayed with my mother for a few months after that. Well, I stayed with my mother for a month before I headed out again. But I will continue my stories later. We should probably go back to the mansion. Yeah, I think that's safe. We shall also report to the guild. Belle, you wanna come with? Yeah, I got to inform the guild that I have returned for my travels. So I can come. Can I come with you? Sure, Ice. You can come with. Oh, shit. Finn, Belle, Riveria, and Gareth with Ice and Belle moved towards the guild. The others went towards the house. When they were walking, a lot of people stared at them because the Logi Familia returned early, but people gets confused when they saw the mask. You see, Bell hid his appearance in public when he arrived, but in the when he first started out with his new body, he hid it very well, so people didn't even see him. But now, when he has the whole cape off, they see his his robotic part. They were walking towards the guild and entered. Bell looked around to try to find his advisor. He spotted Ina at her desk doing some paper. While in the front of the gates, in the front of the guild, standing there. Belle walked up to her. Excuse me. Ina, it's good to see you again. Ina looked up to see this man with metal all over him with a weird set of clothes. Excuse me, do I know you? Ah, yes, She sees the man reach up to the helmet and click some buttons. Air came out of it what Ina saw, and the minute the man took the helmet off and put it on the counter, Ice immediately recognized him. It was Belle. Belle? God, it's been such a long time. We didn't talk for months when you left. We didn't talk for months and then you left. What happened? You should have seen the written report, right? Well, we should probably go into a private room. I will explain. Well, the short of it. Yeah. Okay. Bell took his helmet and placed it down, clicked it on his belt, walking with Ina to a room and sat down. Bell explained what happened after he got, turned into a cyborg, for what the doctor called him, or the god called him. He didn't appear at the guild. He just wrote letters to Ina so she could get report on it. Bell explained that he had to leave so he didn't go crazy or almost kill someone. So he went out and find some peaceful gods and goddesses that was out there to find a way to actually make a peace. And the goddess and gods helped him. He felt honored to have met them. Anna was shocked by the story, the short of it, and nodded. It seems like you're in good health, Belle. I am, thank you. But we should probably go out there. I feel killer intent from that door. We should probably go out there. It's been like 10 minutes. Yeah, we should. Belle and Ina walked out of the room. Belle, took out the stones and went up to the counter, processed it into Valus. Belle getting his and put it on his belt. Thank you for coming back and saying hello, Belle. It's been fun. It's good to talk to you again. I really needed that. No problem. Belle walked up to Finn, Reveria, and Gareth that has made their report. Eyes was also there just looking at him. Did you... Belle. You talked to your advisor? Yes, she understood why I didn't talk to her. I see. Well, anyway, we have made our report. Shit. Made our report to the guild. We should probably head home. Of course. Let's go. Belle took his helmet and put it on, covering his head off from his helmet, walking out and heading home. When they were walking, the others saw Belle stopped and looked at the Babel Tower. Finn was confused and asked him why he was looking at it. You see, I never told anyone, but I always felt someone staring at me. When I asked my grandmother Hera about that look I could feel, she told me that one certain goddess from here always made that glare, made that look that people could feel. Finn was shocked by this, but asked him who it was. Who her about? He asked about who it was. You should probably know the only goddess that stays up there. With a little loyal, animal bodyguard. Finn got the reference immediately. The only goddess that stayed up there with a bodyguard that is kind of like a pet for her was Freya. When they were walking and returned home, they saw a lot of the people on the expedition there. Finn got greeted by Tyone at the door. Welcome home, Captain. Tyona. Well, thank you very much. Thank you, Tyona. Has there something come up? No, just the usual. Loki being a pervert and everything. I see. Well, Belle, you should probably go back to your room. Yeah, I need to check on my limbs. Good, I got those blueprint. Working down in my arms and legs. See you then. Belle walks away towards his room. Eyes stared at him when that Reveria saw. You still like him? After all this time? He helped me. I wanted to help him, but I didn't know how. I feel like I didn't help him. We could do nothing, Iris, and you know it. It seems he needs to figure it out on his own. Maybe go talk to him. Maybe that could help you. Ice nodded and walked away. A minute later, she arrived at Belle's room, knocking on it. Come in, door's open. Ice walked in to see Belle sitting, well, at his table. It seems like Belle cleaned up very fast, because there was a lot of dust in here before, but now it's very clean. Belle turned around to see who it is, and smiled a little. Ah, Ice, it's just you. Do you need something? I'm just checking on my arm right now. Ice looked, and of course Belle didn't have an arm on him. She sees he was looking at inner mechanics. I was just coming up to see how you are. Belle turned and looked at her, smiling at her. Thank you, Ice. That's kind. Ice nods at this and walked over beside him, looking at his arm. Does it hurt when you remove it? I never asked. No, it does not. It doesn't hurt a lot. I feel nothing, but when I put it on, I feel everything again. Like I actually have my arm back. Your legs? My legs are the same. That mad god turned me into what I was. I didn't feel happy at first, but I came to accept it. Do you think you can help me with it? The training you got could help me with my darkness? You mean the darkness in your heart? Yes. Probably not. I don't know, Ice. But I can still help you if you just want to talk. Ice nods at this and just sits down and just be beside Belle. Belle smiled at this and just continued to work on his arm to check it out. Half an hour later, he feels Ice. Head fell on his shoulder. He turned to look to see if she fell asleep. They talked a little bit in these half an hour, Ice going a little bit into her past, explaining her father and mother, but never giving a name. Belle smiled and picked her up. He was fixing the armor that was around his healthy limb. The arm that wasn't cut off. He picked her up and went over to his bed, laying her down on the bed and pulling the covers over her. He knew what she wanted. Belle figured it out a long time ago. He smiled at her. He knew the darkness she had was big, the same as his, but his was still smaller. Not of betrayal or hurt, but almost losing his humanity. Belle was about to walk over again when he felt a hand grabbed his robot hand. Turning around to see Eyes looking at him. Can you just stay here with me? Belle looked at her and smiled, sitting down and laying down beside her. Smiling at her, she does the same, falling asleep after talking a little bit more. Of course Bell locked the door. Don't be an idiot. If you're gonna say that Bell should lock the door, yeah, he did. But the others still heard their conversation. Loki, by the way, didn't. Outside the door, we see Tiona, Tione, Lufia, Riveria, Finn, Gareth, Loki, just outside the door hearing their conversation. Loki was about to interrupt them when Gareth grabbed her and putting his hand over her mouth. When they fell asleep, they walked away from the door. So, they do need each other? Lufia asked Riveria. Yes. It seems that Belle and I are one and the same. Both lost something. She lost her parents, the familiar family love, and Belle almost losing his humanity. So we could never help her? No. You've eased the burden upon her heart. Don't let your hard work go down. Belle was just made it worth it for her. And she, Belle helped her with a little more, and she with Belle. Both of them need time, but they will fix each other. I see. Don't be obsessed that your crush is falling in love with someone else. I don't have a crush on her, Lufia yelled out. Rivera just laughing away. This is where I'm gonna end the episode. Hope you guys enjoy. Good morning, goodbye, farewell, see you later. Have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful time. Goodbye, good night, good morning, and good evening.